it is 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have the Minister of Youth and Culture inaugurate the House of Wise Men in Ali Sabih. Farmers swap their cattle for camels in Kenya. Welcome to our newsroom. At the end of this ceremony, still in the town of Ali Sabih, the Minister of Youth and Culture, Dr. Hibo Mumin Asowe, accompanied by her teams and the acting prefect of Ali Sabih, Saida Waberi Asowe, officially inaugurated in the region is the House of Wise Men. This structure located opposite the regional council will henceforth host meetings and gathering of the Asajog community. This House of Wise Men will be the ideal venue for meetings and gatherings of the customary authorities of the Ali Sabih regions.
L'inauguration.
The Member of Parliament, Abdo Siki, said that the activities organized as part of the celebration of the International Youth Days came to an end with this morning's important ceremony. The day is an opportunity to recognize the essential contribution young people make to society and to highlight the challenges they face. This year's theme is From Clicks to Progress, Young People's Digital Journey for Sustainable Development, following the example of other countries. The Republic of Djibouti celebrated and encouraged young people's commitment and actions, highlighting their potential to drive positive change. The Minister Hibo Mumin Asowe stressed the need to preserve our traditions and pass it on to young people. This is just the beginning of our support, and I would like to thank the Prefecture and the Regional Council for their support. We are now working harder to safeguard the written words and register as a UNESCO Intangible Heritage Site. You now have an address, and we are going to make it even more functional. You will have a secretariat to transcribe your arbitration sessions as you requested. We have going to plant a big, beautiful shady tree in the front of this House of Wise Men. Finally, I would like to ask for your blessings on behalf of all the political leaders present here, and also on behalf of the President of the Republic, who is constantly concerned with the safeguarding and preserving our age-old traditions. The Ministry of Youth and Culture proudly announces the return of the 1,500 young participants in the Séjour Passerelle programs for the young people from the 5 regions and the capital, which took place in Al Sabih from August 8 to 12, 2024. The event, which ended with the celebrations of the International Youth Day on the morning of August 12, was a highlight for Djiboutian young people. Djiboutian youth bringing together participants from all the regions of the country. The young people, accompanied by officials from the Ministry of Youth and Culture, returned home on a special train. The Minister of Youth and Culture herself took part in the trip, sharing this privileged moment with the young people and the managers who have supported them through these 5 intense days of training and sharing. Departure from the Al Sabih train station took place earlier in the evening of August 12 after a moving closing ceremony. The sub-prefect of Al Sabih and two members of parliament from the region were on the hand to greet and escort the delegations back to the station, testifying to the importance and success of the program. These symbolic gestures underlined the unfailing support of local authorities for initiatives aimed at empowering and developing youth. The Minister of Youth and Culture would like to express her deep gratitude to all those who contributed to the success of this program. She would particularly like to thank General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim for his logistical support and commitment, which were essential to the smooth running of the activities. Thanks to this exemplary cooperation, the program achieved its objectives and laid the foundation for a promising future for Djibouti's youth. The chairman of Port and Tourism Authority, Abu Bakr Omar Haddi, presided this morning over the closing ceremony of a training course on port facility security organized by the direction of the Captainry of Ports, represented by the commander of the ports, Mohammed Musa Abbar. And this training course for Djibouti port facility security officers was aimed at managers of the various port facilities as well as the public authorities responsible for security. 17 managers took part in the 4-day courses held from August 8 to 13, 2024 at the Djibouti Ayla Hotel. Mr. Bruno Leonard, former captain in the French Navy, director and representative of the GES Pelagos and certification bodies, provided the training. Thanks to this initiative, Djibouti's port facility managers now comply with the international security norms and the standards, in particular those of the International Ship and Port Facility Security Code. At the end of the training course, the chairman of Ports and Tourism Authority, Abu Bakr Omar Haddi, and the ports commander presented certificate to the participant. For his part, the chairman of Port and Tourism Authority, Abu Bakr Omar Haddi, thanks to this initiative, Djibouti's port facility managers now comply with international security norms and standards, in particular those of the International Ship and Port Facility Securities Code. The strategic route of Siesta is home to one of the most important storm waters drainage structures, the Nasser Canal, built in 1980s, and in 1990s the canal plays a crucial role in the channeling flood waters towards the sea, protecting the surrounding residential area from flooding. Over time, however, the infrastructure began to show signs of aging. The cover slabs essential to ensuring the canal's solidity and functionality are now vulnerable. Aware of the risks, the ONIAD took the initiative of renovating the canal to prevent any potential collapse. Financed entirely by ONIAD, the rehabilitation work was launched 3 months ago and includes the making and laying of the new concrete slabs, a process currently underway on the route of the Siesta. The first phase of the work specifically concerned route of Siesta, but similar interventions are planned on the other major roads in the city, such as Boulevard de Gaulle, Avenue Nasser. The estimated completion times for the Siesta rehabilitation is around 7 days. Also, ONIAD ambitions is to complete this phase is just 3 to 4 days, demonstrating their commitment to minimizing inconvenience to the population. In an interview with the RTD, Igal Mirane Awale, ONIAD's director of technical operation for sanitation, stressed the need for the project because of aging infrastructure, in particular the concrete slabs which were in danger of collapsing. Igal highlighted the meticulous planning required to complete the work while limiting disruptions to traffic and local residents. He also spoke on the future rehabilitation work planned on other critical roads in Djibouti, illustrating ONIAD's commitment to improving and strengthening the city's water management infrastructure. As part of the Summer Games organized by the State Secretariat for Sport, the collective of the local elected representative and Leaders United for Sustainable Development organized the fourth consecutive inter-commune peace and friendship tournament at the Roi Fahd Sports Complex in the commune of Balbala. The aim of the tournament is to combat drug abuse and juvenile delinquency among Djibouti's youth, especially during the summer months when schools are closed, but it is also a means of detection for the youngsters who will benefit from the ease of the leaders of the major leagues club present on the pitch. The main message conveyed by this sporting event is peace, merchant value. The president of the committee thanked the State Secretary for Sport Hassan Mohamed Kamil and the Director General of the Police Colonel Abdurrahman Ali Kahin. For the international scene, Paris 2024 Olympic Games, the complete list of the African medals after more than 2 weeks of competitions and a big closing ceremony. Here is the list of by category of medals won by Africans. The Paris Olympic Games ended on Sunday, and for fourth consecutive times, the U.S. Leads the rankings with the 126 medals and 40 golds, as many as China, but with a total of 91 medals in second place. The Americans finished first thanks to their victory by 1 point in the women's basketball finals against France. In the very last event, the games, France leading the European countries almost doubled the number of medals won at the previous Tokyo Olympics. The African continent won 38 medals in total at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Kenya leads to the ranking of the African countries with 11 medals, including 4 golds, followed by Algeria in the 3 medals, including 2 golds. At the heart of a controversy over her gender, Iman Khalif was crowned the Olympic boxing category. South Africa completed the top 3 African countries with the 6 including 1 gold. The closing ceremony at the Stade de France brought together more than 70,000 people and 8,000 athletes, and a spectacular stunt by Tom Cruise, who carried the Olympic flag in a symbolic handover to Los Angeles 2028 women's marathon. Silver, Ethiopia Tigist Asefa. Bronze medal, Helen Obiri. Women's boxing 78 kilogram. Bronze, Cindy Ngamba. And modern pentathlon gold, Ahmed El Ghendi, Egypt. Taekwondo 80 kilograms. Bronze, Sheikh Salah Sise, Ivory Coast. The men's marathon gold, Tamirat Tola, Ethiopia. Bronze, Benson Kiproto, Kenya. Men's 800 meters gold, Emmanuel Wanyoni, Kenya. Bronze, Jamel Said Chafi, Algeria. Men's 5,000 meters silver, Ronald Kiwami, Kenya. Men's 400 meters relay silver, Botswana. Women's 1,500 meters gold, Faith Kipyegon, Kenya. And Kenya herders swap cattle for camels. Kenya's farmers are turning to camels as an alternative to weathering drought and lack of pastures in the northern Kenya. Cattle are status symbols and provide family with the sources of milk and meat, but new weather conditions are making this difficult for many farmers. In Likiji village, herder Abdullahi Mahmoud lost almost his entire herd of 30 cattle, and during the 2028 drought that killed 2.6 million cattle in Kenya, devastated by the loss, Mahmoud decided to buy 20 camels with his savings, a decision he considered a good investment. Cattle farming is difficult because of the lack of pasture. Camels, on the other hand, are easier to raise because they feed mainly on the shrubs and can survive in harsher conditions. When the pastures dries up, the increase of the population and the lack of the pastures, camels are very advantageous. They're more adaptable to the heat stress. And to close up this edition, Geneva Convention is 7 year on humanitarian law still floated from Gaza to Syria, Ukraine to Myanmar. The world's best known regulations on the protection of civilian detainees and wounded soldiers in war has been largely ignored. Human rights advocates are calling for a renewed commitment to international humanitarian law adopted by nearly every country in the world since their finalization on 12 August 1949. The Geneva Conventions are once again in the spotlight as armed militia and national forces routinely ignores the rules of war. The Geneva Conventions are intended to establish rules for the conduct of war. They prohibit torture and sexual violence, requires human treatment of detainees, and mandate the search for missing persons. The Red Cross believes the conventions are more necessary than ever. Indeed, the organization has recorded more than 120 active conflicts in the world, 6 times more than in 1998, the years of half centuries of existence of the conventions. And this is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.